Good morning, family. We are now officially 2 full weeks done with the carnivore diet. We are eating meat, we are eating water, and we are salting everything. And that is essentially it. I'm gonna be honest with you, it ain't all it's cracked up to be for me. But, hey, I just realized I'm still wearing a shirt. We haven't got a weigh-in yet. What the hell are we doing? $181.4. So what is that? 1 week that's down 4 pounds. Don't feel any different. Don't feel like I look any different. Maybe I do. I don't know. But we are done with our first full week of nothing but meat, water, and salt. That's it. It's very interesting. You know what? Let's move to the kitchen. We'll talk about how our first week went. The goods, the bads, the ugly. I misspoke before. This isn't the beginning of week 2. This is the end of week 2. And I've got now 14 days under my belt of this, and I am not impressed. This is probably one of the strictest diets I've ever done. One of the hardest diets, not to stay constant on or consistent on, but just to keep doing. There's just no variety, there's no fun, it's just meat. And that doesn't sound so bad before you start, but I've had ribeyes, I've had New York strips, today we're having flank steaks, our beef, our eggs, and it's just, I think the big thing is after 2 weeks, I'm not noticing any difference, right? Yes, we lost a couple of pounds, 4 or 5 pounds, but we're at 0 carbs, guys. Like, I want you to understand this. We are at 0 carbs. So you're going to naturally lose water weight and just weight in general as your body transitions through that, through getting used to a no carb or low carb diet. That's why keto works so well in the beginning too for weight loss. But this thing here, I'm not noticing any of that mental clarity. I'm not noticing any of that constant energy that other people talk about. What I am noticing is a huge strain on my pocketbook as this thing has become way more expensive than I thought it was gonna be. The budget I had set aside for this for 6 weeks and then another 10-week cut is now gonna be taken up just in these first couple of weeks. So that just shows you how expensive this really is to do it the right way. Now I could be going to Five Guys or In-N-Out or wherever, depending on where you're from, and getting like burgers or cheeseburgers or whatnot. But I'm not doing cheese, I'm not doing any sort of dairy, and it's just doing it the right way, because I like to do these experiments, but I always like to do them the right way, the way that it's supposed to be done. So grass-fed, grass-finished is gonna be a little bit more expensive. I get that, but that is what it is, and I am not enjoying this at all. So I think I'm gonna tough it out for another week, but I think 3 weeks is gonna be, that's gonna be the cutoff. That's gonna be it. We're not going to 6 weeks. This is gonna be one of the first times ever that I take one of these experiments and I just don't finish the initial timeline. Because at the end of the week 1, I was thinking to myself, oh, I'll do this for 4 weeks then. Now at the end of week 2, I'm just gonna hang on till next week. So it's just not for me. This isn't something that interests me. This isn't something, and I'm not seeing any of the benefits from it, right? So if you're not seeing any benefits, and on the other side, you're not getting anything from it, there's no excitement, there's no like, yes, this is great, this is awesome, I love it, then what's really the point? You know, so today on the menu, we've had our beef and eggs this morning, we've had a New York strip today, we've had a ribeye today, and we're gonna finish our night off with a beef flank steak. Right, so this from Piedmontese, grass-fed, grass-finished, like we've been talking about. We're looking at a 220 calories for 8 ounces of this, and a whopping 46 grams of protein, 3 grams of fat, and 1 gram of carbohydrates. So there have been some days where my carbs have been at like 3 or 6, depending on the type of cut of meat. Ribeyes have a couple of carbs in it. This flank steak has a couple of carbs in it, but you're talking about 2 or 3 grams. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're going to eat. And that's really just gonna finish up dinner here. Like, I'm gonna try to hold on. I'm gonna try to hold on for week 3. I may include a carb day this week just to see if that changes anything, or if that if my body fluctuates and then just like drops back and I get that energy boost, or I get that mental clarity, or even if a carbohydrate day gives me like that mental fogginess that is sometimes associated with carbs when you're low carb and you add them in. Just something. I wanna see some sort of change, maybe. So that's what we're gonna do. But got my trusty cast iron pan here. Gonna cook up these steaks, enjoy dinner. I'm sorry I don't have more to bring you guys. Like, this has just been, for me, and feeling wise and spending wise and all that, it's just been a huge failure. Like, there's no pleasure in it. There is no pleasure, there's no nothing. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try it, right? There is great joy in knowing what doesn't work for you. This is something that I've thought about for probably 2 years now of trying this. So I've had 2 years of it taking up mental space in my head, trying this. Hey, just try it, just try it. And it's never been a good time. I didn't expect the cheat days to go for as long as they have, or as long as they did. That was supposed to be 8 weeks, turned into 16 weeks. So there's just never been like a real good time to implement this. Now I know that I'll never have to worry about this again. It will never come up on my radar again. I may try it next year or the year after during like a carnivore month or something, or if I'm doing something, whatever. Things may happen. But these little experiments, we're trying to learn things. And I don't know what we're learning from this yet, but hopefully after next week, by the end of the week, I'm gonna introduce coffee again. I'm gonna try some honey this week coming up, because that is something that you're allowed on the carnivore diet as a carb source. That's gonna bring up my carbs just a little bit, maybe to like 10 grams. Ooh, a big whopping 10 grams. And we'll see how this next week goes. I hope week 3 I have something better to report to you, with maybe a carb day, maybe not. Or maybe it might just be a whole scrapping of the carnivore and jumping into our cut that much earlier. So then it'll be a 13-week cut instead of a 10-week cut. And you can join me on that journey as we cut down from wherever we're gonna be after the carnivore to wherever we're going into our next trip. And then after that, possibly another show, or our first show. I don't know. I don't know if we want to get that far, but we're gonna try to become as shredded as possible this year. Let's hope the carnivore at least jumpstarts us into that process. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next one.